In this video, we're gonna take this empty grassy piece of field from looking like this to looking like this. What is up, everybody? My name is Stefan and I live in my self-converted school bus on a piece of property, and I'm spending this summer taking on projects here at the property to develop it and build it up as I also build another bus. This video is about a property development project that I've been working really hard on. We'll get back to bus building stuff later. This is part one of the outhouse build. Thanks for watching. I do find it important to have this little disclaimer for you here. I am not a professional builder. I'm not a certified contractor, so please don't take the things that I do in this video as instructions. This is merely inspiration and examples of a way that I found to use my creativity to get a project done. Cheerio! We're gonna build a little outhouse here with a flushing toilet and running water and possibly an outdoor shower once it's all said and done. That means we gotta dig the proper foundation, lay the proper gravel, and then start building on the shed. So there's a lot of groundwork that needs to be done first. Due to the small size of the square footage of the outhouse that I'm trying to build, I should be able to just float it on a bed of gravel and it should be okay. I do need to do some deeper digging to get my plumbing, so I need to tee into the septic line. I will have to dig a trench for my water line. We also need electricity there for light, and if we're doing an outdoor shower, we need some heat. So we'll run a trench with some conduit for electrical in order to get power to the outhouse as well. A lot of things to consider and a lot of things to work on, but right now the muscle is in the groundwork, and that's what we're starting on today. And there we go. We have a flat and level pad on which to build our foundation. Next up is to find where the septic line runs right here. The toilet is going to be centered right over here on this end, and then the outdoor exposed shower is going to be on that side. So I need to dig a trench from here, going that way. Oh, now I'm changing my mind again. Dang it! I don't even know what I'm doing. All right. We found the existing poop pipe. We are back out here on day 2 of the Big Dig project. The scope of this is much bigger than what I let on. In order to actually have all the services that I need at this outhouse, water, power, and drain, I have to have all of those done before we proceed anywhere. It's all gotta be in the ground, which means I gotta dig all the way to my water line, all the way to my electrical box, and then run water line here that's 30 inches deep and electrical line in conduit all the way from the box. So more trenching. So I was out here at the business end of digging this trench, and I'm working on slowly clearing out the gravel bed that's sitting around my frost-proof yard hydrant. And as I loosened the gravel, it started tipping a little bit, so I wanted to tip it back to how it was in order to get to the right. Tipped it just too far and broke off the PVC at the bottom of it. And of course my water pressure is on, so it just, this fountain in front of me just came gushing out of the ground. And of course filled my whole trench with water, and in the meantime now my PVC that is down there is buried in gravel and water, so still got some digging to do to clear that out. Oh boy. I would like to show you how absolutely cross-threaded the PVC was into the base of this yard hydrant. At first I was irritated that I pulled this out, but now I'm glad I did, because this is ridiculous. In order for me to even reach that pipe, I have to lay on my stomach and extend my arm completely down in there just to dig it out. All right, this is officially day 3 of working on the outhouse project. We left off with my geyser problem because I pulled off my yard hydrant. plugged that so I can make it through the night, and today with water. In the meantime, I went to Home Depot and got all the plumbing I need for both water line to outhouse as well as sink and toilet drain from outhouse into the septic line. So I should be able to put all that together right now, which would be great to get that all knocked out. Okay, I'm pausing that time lapse because it's starting to rain. Wanted to update you on what I've got so far. Here's my tee. This is gonna go down onto the vertical coming up. This is going out that direction towards the future shop, and this tee here is going that way with my pecs. So we'll drop this down right there, and then we'll run our pecs. We'll be good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the water line is run. Here it is, coming up out of the ground. We're ready to move on to the next system, which is septic. And I do have all the parts for that too. So, I mean, running water is one thing. Septic is something I have never, ever done. But I think I have an idea of what I need to do, so let's just go for it, huh? Ugh. Okay, I am buzzing about this. I think all of my plumbing drains are dry fitted and ready to be glued up. Again, starting here, we have our Y into our main. We left with that last week. And then we have a long extension all the way up to where we start branching off to toilet, sink, and vents. I did learn that you can't have a horizontal wet vent downstream of a toilet, which makes sense when you think about where the poopies are gonna go. So I had to come up with a different way to vent the toilet. So that's what that other joint there is. That's just a dry vent coming up at above a 45-degree angle, and that's gonna go diagonal into the wall, where at some point up above the flood level of the sink, it'll go horizontal and meet the sink vent, that is. And we're looking pretty good now. The slope is accurate to a 1/4 inch drop per foot, which is exactly what we need, and we're teed in on the main line. So we're looking good. This is all glued up and set. Just gonna put enough dirt underneath so that we can have it supported. And we are back out here at the property on the outhouse build after taking almost a week off to go to California. Today, I'm lucky enough to have Ev along here with me, and she's gonna do some trenching for electrical while I'm out here putting together the rest of the plumbing.
All the way down.
That's because you hit a dirt or a rock that's really hard. You're doing great though.
Almost done. Ooh, that one went down quick.
Yeah, those feel good, huh?
I done dig a hole. Is that enough?
Yeah. Like I've just said, she dug this trench. My back's still not feeling great, so she did all the heavy lifting. I loosened up a bunch of stuff, but she did all the work, which is fantastic. So now we have a 2-foot trench that goes from the electrical panel all the way to the outhouse. I have about 60 feet of conduit that we're gonna rough in right now, just so that we can get as far as we can get. I know it's not enough, so we'll go to the hardware store, pick up the pieces that we need, but I wanna rough in so we have a good idea of how much we need come the time to go to the store. So we'll get that conduit out, throw it in, see how far we get.
Well, we filled the trench with our tubing to hold the wires. And it goes along the whole trench. What's it called?
Conduit.
Conduit. That sounds like a bad word.
So we got all our pieces cut and rough fitted for the electrical conduit, and we pulled them all apart, and Ev ran a string through everything so that when I do get my wire, we can both push feed it and pull feed it from the other end. There's a couple other ways that you can do that, but this was the easiest and quickest way I could figure out how to do this with the resources we had. So got a string, ran it through, and now we're doing a glue up. And just like that, we've got our plumbing glued up drains done, our electrical conduit glued up and in, and our water line is all the way here to the outhouse. Now we just gotta undo all the digging I did. I'm gonna start here so that I can make sure I compact it enough underneath the drains so that it's properly supported, so that none of that angle is gonna shift over time. And then we're really just gonna shovel it all in and pack it all down. So maybe I'll get this section done before it's dinner time. Ev is going in now so she can make dinner for us. So we'll see how much time I have and how much I get done. It is day 5 out here on the outhouse build. Last night we got all of the plumbing buried and compacted. So now we're back to where we started, except with our utilities out here, which is fantastic. Because we're gonna start here on the foundation for the outhouse. What that means is we're gonna build a perimeter of pressure treated ground contact wood. We're gonna anchor that to the ground. That way we can fill the inside with gravel and then have a nice, even, compacted, and supportive, well-draining foundation for the outhouse. So that's what we're up to today. We have the materials, so we're just gonna get to it. We got 4x6s to mark our perimeter. Those are just set in place right now, nothing stuck together because not everything's square quite yet. The trick that we're working with is I want the perimeter to be square to the sink drain and the toilet vent, because that's gonna be where a wall is, and I want my perimeter to be square with the building, or at least as close as I can. So we're gonna get it as square as possible, as lined up as possible, make sure everything's all level, and then we're gonna stake this thing down, screw it all together from all different angles, and then we'll be ready to start piling this back up. We have our French drain trench dug, so once we do our landscape fabric on top of the dirt, we'll put the drain in, we'll get our gravel in here, and we'll be flying. We'll be cruising. Oh, cut, squared, screwed, and anchored. This frame isn't going anywhere. There's 12 rebar sections going 2.5 feet deep into the ground. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. And then tomorrow we'll do gravel. Actually, scratch that. My back is proper killing me, so I'm gonna call it a day, go shower, clean up, and we'll hit this again tomorrow for day 6. Oh! So after all the work we did get done yesterday, I woke up this morning and my back was not in it. So today I was scheduled to pick up several loads of gravel for this foundation. Luckily my gravel yard is like 3 miles away, so I can take multiple trips back and forth and not have to pay the delivery fee or meet the delivery minimum. So I have a couple yards of gravel, but this truck can only take so much at a time, so we'll do a whole bunch of trips and get that unloaded and here next to the foundation.